island, I recommend hummus. I mean, they ship all over anywhere anyway if you weren't on the island, but they're really good. Um, and like I know the owners personally, Shy and Tony, and they're like very like high integrity individuals. They do a lot for the community. So outside of the fact that their products are good, they taste great and they are very true to the macronutrients and the ingredients on there. They're held to a high standard. Shy and Tony are just like good people, so I like to support them in their business, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know, Steve, if you have any other recommendations on meal prep.
So hummus ships, right?
They do. It
Yeah.
does. I think it could get expensive, because like a lot of it has to go like dry ice and all that stuff, but they
Yeah.
do
Well,
ship.
I would say if you need somebody to ship food, Hummus Fit for sure. So give them a shout out, like you said. And I know they have great food from what you and Sam have always said.
It's
And I
delicious.
know others who too. So besides that, I want to give a shout out to Christian Coronado in North Jersey. I know he makes phenomenal food. Not just meals, but like meal prep. So if you're in North Jersey or like Central Jersey, he'd be the guy I would go to there. And then in South Jersey, Clean Plate, my buddy Caesar owns a fantastic meal prep company down in South Jersey. So those would be the three I would recommend. But if you need somebody to like ship, Hummus Fit.
So that answers that. Next question that Michelle had was, can you explain peak week for a first time competitor?
All right, so that's a good question. All right, so pretty much in peak week, the whole goal of this week, right, is to manage stress even more, right? At this point, you should be lowering stress from the peaking point of where you're pushing in prep, right?
Yeah, body
So
fat, like reducing body fat, that goal is done. Like
done,
you're that
done.
is
Yeah,
not the goal in
yeah,
peak week.
yeah. You should be ready to step on stage at least with Matter Eye at probably anywhere between 7 to 14 days out, at
Yeah,
least,
yeah.
right? So at this point, the goal is managing fatigue, managing stress, even more than if we're already doing that, and just coasting in so we can bring that quote unquote peaked look. Managing water, whether we're water loading or depleting, whatever it is, right? In our opinion, right? I know water should be at least high for majority of the week. I mean, sodium manipulation and just cruising on into the show. That should be the goal of peak week. If you're still pushing an hour plus cardio at 2, 3, 4, 5 days out, you're more than likely probably going into that show super stressed, super depleted. Um, the goal is, like I said, in short, just making sure you're managing stress and coasting into the show to really look your best, fresh, not as stressed, and full and dry, depending on the division.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because that's also another thing. Um, the look that you're trying to attain is going to be very different in a
Of
fit model
course.
versus a open
Oh yeah.
bodybuilding, right? Like
Oh yeah.
when we talk about like water load and depletion, like these things, well, number one, both Steve and I are what I would consider very conservative from a water depletion perspective,
Yep.
compared to some of the things that I've heard are pretty crazy. Um, but um, when we're talking about divisions like fit model, like we're not talking about like a significant amount of water depletion at all. They're not going for a dry look. They want
Dude,
good.
Sarah on Friday, I think she was still drank 6 liters of water.
Right, yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I
So,
mean? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, at the end of the day, though, like if you're bringing the condition you need for the division you're in, like odds are, unless you're just the type of person that likes to hold water, you're probably not going to be a very watery looking bodybuilder. Like,
Yeah.
if you're waking up in the mornings dry, then you should have no problem going on stage without excess water retention at the end of the day. It's really all that condition. But anyway, um, so yeah, I think that covers that from a high level. And so this is another question that Michelle had. So body fat percentage for fit model. I honestly have no idea. I've to be completely honest, never had a female competitor go get like a DEXA scan, which is the most accurate way to measure body composition. So I truly can't answer that question. I would doubt that there's enough data because it's such a new division. But at the end of the day, like the look that they're going for is getting harder as the season goes by for sure.
It's insane.
If you look at the woman who won the first pro card, I think her name was like Taylor or something like that, I forget. But if you look at her compared to the girls that are winning their pro card at the universe, it is a significantly more conditioned and muscular look. So, I mean, I'm seeing some of these girls, I would say a lot of these girls that are doing well are a lot of girls that are dropping down from bikini because their conditioning is very good. Like a lot of them have, you could basically see outlined abs. You could see some tie-in in their glutes for sure, and their muscularity is there. Like the girls have some shoulders, they got some quads, and there definitely some glutes there. So just as we said, as soon as the division came out, and everybody was shitting on it, it's going to develop into something really good, and it is because it's a division that look, at the end of the day, like if you're staying natural, we can imagine plenty of women doing very good in fit model, even in the IFBB, depending on how extreme it gets. But I can't imagine it's going to get too extreme because we have bikini. Like this is a great division, because you don't have to sacrifice or have to even ask yourself the question of, hey, do I want to weigh the risk versus reward of becoming a better bodybuilder, but also risking side effects because I'm taking PEDs, you know what I mean? So yeah, at the end of the day, it's really about what look they're going for, less about an achievable metric on body fat percentage.
Yeah, for sure. Couldn't have said it better.
So I have another really good question. How flat is too flat in contest prep?
So this is going to depend person to person. So I also think too now with both of us having so much more experience and whether it's your clients or mine, we're seeing obviously all these people's prep really through each other
We
or
talk about it every we
yeah,
talk about it every week, with
yeah.
all of our clients.
So I think that is so person dependent. So like if you take somebody say like Brandon, flat on him is going to look extremely full for somebody like Matt Feldman, for example.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I also think too, a good coach is able to pinpoint specific body parts that go flatter or fuller on a specific individual. And we
So
can
could I
really,
double click on that? Can I
yeah,
double
go
click
ahead.
on that? Because I think that is like one of the most important things as a coach is you need to be able to tell by your athlete's look which body parts tend to go flat first, because that's going to
Yep.
be a huge indicator for you.
I 100% agree. It's, with somebody like Brandon, it's his back. So, like, when I see his mid back and his erectors not have pop to them, I know he is flat. Whereas you see the dude's shoulders and arms, and you're like, what is flat on that? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but it's like when his back is flat, it's like, okay, he needs a high day. But filling him up again, as you know, very in depth like me with him, it's a lot of fats and extremely moderate carbs, which somebody seeing the amount of muscle a man like that holds would be like, this dude needs 1,000 carbs to fill up. Where his high days are like 250 carbs, and anything more than that, he's literally up 8 to 10 pounds of water. So, and then I think like somebody else, flat, it really, again, it's just person dependent. And like you said, and we piggybacked off of a good coach can tell what body parts on an individual go flat. Some parts are going to go super flat, some are going to go a little more moderately flat, and then some body parts just stay full when the other body parts are flat. You know what I mean? It really, I feel like this really comes down to experience.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
and
it really comes down to experience.
yeah, I agree. Now, also one other thing, because we didn't really answer the question, how flat is too flat? So I think again, it is dependent on the person's look, but also don't be afraid to just push. You do
Yeah,
have to get
I
fucking flat. Like, so take it
I
for
agree.
me. Like, I don't know why I'm like I have like black dude muscle. I don't get flat. Like, if I by the time I'm flat, I am so fucking depleted. It's not even funny. And that like my first thing to go is my legs. My legs look like they are so small. And when that starts happening, it's like, all right, we need to be cognizant of this because I'm gonna be at risk of like my performance in the gym extremely degrading, which is gonna impact my ability to build and retain muscle, which
Yep.
I'm gonna retain muscle being on gear, but at the end of the day, that progressive overload, whether it's up or at least maintaining as much as you possibly can, is one of the key differentiators of having, building and retaining muscle when you're in a contest prep. So when you train like a pussy is when you start looking like a pussy, honestly. Um, So yeah, you got to be you have to know how hard to push an athlete. Oftentimes they'll stop responding, and that's going to correlate with the look, right? Like they're super flat, you're pushing them really hard. Then you're like, maybe I got to push harder. So you drop their food, you push their cardio, they just get flatter, and the scale stays the same or even goes up. It's like, all right, so now it's time we got to refeed the fuck out of this person, or maybe just increase their baseline food or lower their cardio, whatever, whatever it is, whatever lever you try to pull. But that's when you know, like, the flat is too flat.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a really good point too. Like, don't be scared to push. So for whoever asked this question, I think a really good
You
thing
answer,
to
I gotta go.
okay, all right, go ahead. Um so I think an important thing here is making sure that if you push really hard, it's okay and you over push, but don't be scared to refeed an individual 2, 3, 4 days, or even give them like a whole diet break of a week to manage the stress, drop the stress, and refeed up. So, um, yeah, don't you can't be scared to get flat and sometimes super flat because usually like to break past the plateau of conditioning, say like your last prep or your last show, and you want to get even better the next go around. Sometimes you have to push through whatever barrier you went to last time. Um, and to get past, wherever you were. So um it's super important. So let's try and pull up questions here. So one of the questions I got was, why does Tren seem to be the most popular performance enhancing drug right now? Um, oh, here comes Matt. There you go. All right. So I answered the rest of that question. Essentially, I just said, to piggyback off what you said, don't be scared to push. And I said sometimes you have to do that to get consecutively better from one prep to another or show to show, whether it's in the same, competition season. Um, say like you got pushed to a certain level, but the next prep you got 10 more pounds of muscle. You can't be scared to over flatten. And I said a good coach won't be scared to feed somebody 2, 3 days in a row, or even just give them a 5 to 7 day break of a diet break, pull stress, down, pull cardio down, and feed them up just to refill them up if needed. But at that point, you're already into a new level of conditioning. So, um, and then I
Yeah,
asked one
dude.
of the questions.
Since Chicago, dude, in Chicago, I've had probably like 400 carbs a day
I believe, and you're
every day
only better,
since.
and you're only
Yeah, and I'm
better.
only up. I'm like 1.5 pounds over stage weight right now.
Which
I
is
actually
literally nothing.
I dropped down actually as the day went on because I wasn't really drinking water. I dropped down to like I think like 213. So I'm 217 right now. So I'm like,
Yeah, you're fuller and
yeah.
leaner.
I mean, I don't know about leaner because like I'm definitely filling up. Like he fat loaded me a lot for the show,
Yeah.
and that definitely built up like my intracellular triglycerides. Like I feel it, I can see it. But now he's just carb loaded me, and I'm fucking burning through it, dude. Like every time I eat, I'm like, my stomach's clear in 20 minutes, and I'm doing,
Yeah.
about 400 carbs spread across 6 meals basically. But um, yeah, I'm definitely full now. I don't. I probably have some higher level of body fat simply from what's in my muscle cells now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely bringing a bigger look this time around.
Oh, yeah. You could just tell in the photos.
Yeah, like I actually
So,
feel big in the gym finally because like I got fucking flat
that's good.
for Indy. Like we really pushed to get that level of
Oh yeah.
conditioning. That wasn't rewarded. Let's just be real.
No. No. But
Anyway, I'm
um,
motivated. I'm not being a bitch about it. But I had another question. Why don't people understand the importance of reverse dieting out of a show? I'll be honest. I don't know if people don't understand the importance of it. I think people don't have the willpower or the desire to be great.
I was just about to say, a good coach will hammer it into their athletes. There's only so much you can tell somebody. I'm not going to tell you every single day for the final month and check up on you the week after the show. I'll check up on you, but I'm not going to hold your hand every day. Be like, are you eating your diet? That's on you. We're all grown fucking adults. You got to do what you got to do. If you had the willpower for 5, 6 months to prep, listen, the post show blues and all this shit, it is what it is. But you have to be willing to have that discipline and dedication, afterward too, because a good coach is going to explain to you the benefits and the ramifications of not following it. The benefits of following, the ramifications of not. And we've seen it both ways, right? We've seen perfect reverses and really good ones. We've also seen nightmares. Where people are paying for it 6, 7, 8 months, a year later, and it's not the coach's fault. It's their fault. When you go and you put 25 pounds of body fat on the month after the show, you're damn well better believe that's staying on you until your thyroid is fully recovered. And that's saying just saying if you even get back on your shit after that weight comes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And one thing,
I
make
don't.
sure like if you're working with somebody like Steve or I, just fucking listen, please.
Yeah.
Because what we don't want is to have people who like try to compensate on their own, you know? It's like if you fuck up, just say it. Because doing an extra hour of cardio a day that week to compensate is not gonna do the job. Like please just fucking communicate so we can do our jobs.
Yeah, also too. I mean, I know we ask clients what foods they want in their plan and all that. I mean, we can't alley oop it to you any easier. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Am I wrong though? You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
It has you have to follow your shit. I know there's whatever the fuck they say nowadays, the kids post show blues and there's no goal at mine. But listen, if you're a real bodybuilder, heart, male or female, and you really want to fucking do well at this, you're gonna follow what you have to do. 365, 24/7. Just the bottom line. Sure, you're gonna have slip ups like when you're deep in the off season. You check in with one of us and you're like, hey, I had an extra burger this week. Whatever. But like when you're 4 weeks post show and you're up 20 pounds of fat, like I said, like it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
I
That's all I got.
I've seen it, and I've seen it. I've seen the worst I saw was 38 pounds the first 2 weeks. You remember?
Oh yeah, okay, I do.
It's so fucking bad. I just was like, hey, you gotta go to the hospital. I can't help this. And I mean, what do you want me? Like it should, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to sound like a dick saying this, that should not be the coach's responsibility.
Well, no, if you fuck up that bad and you have edema
It
to that level where you feel like you're
Yeah,
at risk.
that should not be the coach's responsibility, dude. Like, I did not tell you to fucking do. Your plan is not indicating that you should be up that much. You fucking eating and deep throating a whole box of fucking Twinkies. Now that's indicating you're up 40 pounds in 2 weeks. That's not on me and the coach.
I like that you chose deep throat for the verbiage.
So it's the first thing that came to mind. It's like you shouldn't be fucking in the aisles of the grocery store with 17 packs of Oreos and
Yeah,
27.
that's one thing
You know what I
I
mean?
really don't, one thing I really don't encourage is like loading up on all the junk food. Like right before your show comes. Like, of course, if there are things you want, like, oh, I really wanted that fucking, like, I keep getting ads for Buckeye brownie, and I'm definitely gonna order it when I'm close to the end of my season because I'm like, oh, these look fucking good.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna get one. But like, don't like do what you're saying. Go to the fucking grocery store and get like everything under the sun, so that when you
because you're
get
gonna
home,
eat it. You're
yeah,
gonna
you're
eat
gonna
it.
fucking eat it. But you
Yeah.
have the fucking the
Well,
brownie you want, the fucking muffin you want, like bring a thing or a couple of things, but um, don't I encourage you not to have the treasure trove of goodies. I just
nice.
joined and immediately getting yelled at for deep throating Twinkies. So Matt,
Oh, what did I get?
any
Okay,
questions you
so
have?
I have I picked three of them. So the first one I got was why does Tren seem to be like the most favored PED nowadays?
Right? Because it's the highest anabolic and androgenic rating. effectively, besides
Yeah,
Mint. I mean, for an injectable, I mean, it's not like, Halo is more androgen, but it's the fucking
right.
effective drug is why. If you
Yeah,
can
hell
handle
yeah.
the side effects, I mean, roll run with it, man. I don't get any side effects from Tren besides getting
Yeah.
fucking yoked.
It's funny because so it's been 4 years since I've taken it. So who knows? I could feel exactly like that with nothing next time. But my natural anxiety's always gotten worse. I've gotten night sweats like a motherfucker.
Every now and again, I get the night sweats, but I think that's more so as a result of refeeds than anything else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Matt's right. It doesn't help you have influencers called the Trend Twins. It's kind of true.
I'm
That's a
not
good
seeing
point.
the chat room for me.
Oh yeah, Matt said it doesn't help you have influencers called the Trend Twins.
Fair.
It is a fair point. I also think too nowadays, not well, it might be some maybe new people within our generation, but the younger generation, everybody's looking for like a fucking shortcut, the hashtag road to pro. And they all are like thinking they're like 2 shows in and just need a pro card. Like just because you had one good season, like off season, and you gained 15 pounds of muscle and you just started taking doesn't mean you're granted and you're ready for a pro card. This shit takes fucking time. Like it's okay to go to your first national show and get smoked and get honest feedback from national level judges and come back a year or two later and make another long off season. It's completely okay. But everybody nowadays is in a fucking rush.
Yeah, and it's funny because I feel like it's a lot of classic immense physique guys. I feel like the guys that are turning pro and national in open bodybuilding, they're like, you're a legit bodybuilder. If you're
Yep.
placing at like, if you're placing like top five at nationals and you're an open bodybuilder, at least in like, light heavyweight, super heavyweight, because like, let's be real, some of the guys in the top five and the classes under that are like shitty bodybuilders. But that
Yeah.
being said, there are plenty of wicked fucking middleweights, welterweights.
Oh, dude.
I would argue bantamweight. There's a diamond in the rough, with those guys that actually do monster
Sean
for pro
Clarita
cards. That's you're just taking
and
words out of my
and
mouth.
Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, and there's plenty of other guys out there like my buddy Sincere. I mean, he's taking like
Yep.
a 3 year off season, and I think he's going to be good once he gets his feet wet in the 212. But anyway, um, you know, point being, I find that a lot of those guys that are trying to rush it are oftentimes like the classic guys because it's the most popular division now. And men's physique is like you don't have to get as big to turn pro in these, so everybody pushes it, right? Like, no, road to pro, like you're saying. But it's like if you're in these divisions, realistically, if you're not within sub 10 pounds of your weight cap, it's pretty unlikely you're going to turn pro because no matter how great your shape is, unless you have some like crazy muscle bellies and condition and shape and everything, like you're gonna look small next to guys that are, closer to the cap, objectively if they're in shape as you are, right? So I would also be mindful of like where are you relative to your weight cap, honestly. Because if you're 20 pounds
Yeah.
under and you're saying road to pro, like sorry, buddy, like you're not. You're even if you're 15
No,
pounds under, it's
no,
like
yeah.
you're like, yeah, like you
Yeah.
probably need some more time, buddy. Like
Yeah, unless you're like you said, crazy muscle bellies. The only one that recently that comes to mind like that was Cody Montgomery. He was like 15 pounds underweight, under the cap of heavyweight when he won USA's, but he smoked everybody because his shape and muscle bellies. You know what I mean? But
right,
that's
right, and
that's how many
light
times.
heavies. I mean, like even if you're at the top of the light heavyweight, and like he wasn't tall. I think he was probably like 5'8". Like he wasn't tall.
Yeah.
He
No.
he was still a fucking heavily muscled motherfucker.
Oh, I think especially in the condition he was in.
Huh?
You
Yeah, I
know,
remember.
so
Fucking
also
competed
too,
against the
man.
motherfucker.
Dude, he was something. Another good like just competing point. I was actually talking to Justin Armour earlier about this. So somebody that like he beat at one of the shows this past like a couple months ago won his pro card at Universe. And I don't know if he's still on here, but and I know you're gonna agree with me, man, but I think Sam posted a story up a couple weeks ago. If she's on here and listening, she could confirm if I'm right or not. But just because you beat somebody at a show and then they go get a pro card does not mean that that was your pro card.
Yeah, I mean, if they brought a better package.
If
And
they bought a
also the
better
judging, it's
package,
a different judging panel.
different judging panel, how they showed up, who else showed up, right? Like,
Hmm.
just because you beat somebody doesn't mean anything. You could go to that show, that same show, and they could fucking blow you out the water, or you could beat them again, or it just depends. It doesn't. I feel like it doesn't really mean anything. How many times in bodybuilding and classic, and even how many times in men's physique have we seen the Olympia title change hands every single other fucking year? Because just because you beat somebody one year or that one show doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? Samson won the Olympia and then lost the Arnold to somebody who got 2 places behind him. It doesn't matter. So I just
I
I
was
just
just talking
wanted to
about
bring
that.
that up.
I was just talking about that the other day, how exciting the Olympia is going to be this year for that fact.
Oh, dude, you don't know who's going to win open. There's no clear cut.
Oh, no, and realistically, like the door is open. So it's like, dude, if Nick brings a package like he did at New York, right? He's you can't write him off, you know.
No, I
Um,
agree. Unless
Hottie,
2011 Phil Heath shows up, it's open.
right, right. Hottie, I mean, you can't forget about Hottie.
Dude, in my opinion, Hottie should have won. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. He should have won another one.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with him, man. It's like they're very hard on him. He's fucking an
I
insane
the
bodybuilder.
guy's great. He is
You know
hard
what's
on
funny
everything
too?
else.
You know what's funny too is like every time that they give the feedback, they're like, come in harder again, or like come in bigger again. He just does it like every
I
time.
know he does everything
Yeah,
he's supposed to do, man. It is pretty crazy.
yeah. I
Um,
respect the hell out of Hottie. He's like the most consistent bodybuilder in the circuit.
I agree. I agree. I think Nick is too, other than when he got hurt or last year, obviously with whatever coaching shit was going on. But he's pretty consistent too when he's on.
Yeah, and I had him. What was it? Pittsburgh? Who won it?
Yeah, I had
Who
him winning that show too.
won it? I don't remember.
Derek,
Derek, right? Okay, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had Nick winning it too, actually.
hundred
That
percent.
says a lot because like I don't like mean to be that guy, but I don't really like Nick's physique. Um, and then the fact that I have him winning and have him as a potential candidate to win the Olympia says that much about how good of a
Oh,
bodybuilder
for
he is.
absolutely, bro, absolutely. I the next question I got was, see, I fucking read this. So, objectively speaking, what do you feel separates you guys as coaches from other coaches in terms of the crazy transformations you guys post?
I would say attention to detail and how much we care is
Yep,
one. Um,
I agree.
I'd say two is we walk the walk. Like both Steve and I have been doing this shit for a long time,
Yeah.
and we objectively know how to put on quality muscle, and we objectively know how to get peeled ourselves and with our clients on both of those categories. Whereas a lot of the coaches out here today, like I don't know, if I go look at their NPC News Online pictures, like I'm not hiring this person if they got on stage looking like that. Just to be completely honest, because if
Yeah.
you're not self-aware enough as a coach to realize that you're not a good competitor, I don't understand how you're supposed to have high expectations for your own athletes. Um, but anyway, I guess number three, it's versatility, not only in being able to coach different levels of athletes, like complete beginners, lifestyle people, national level competitors, pros. I have a 212 pro that I coach. You coached me, and you're gonna have Matt and Brandon and David in no time here, all pro being prees. But on top of all that, like Steve and I know what it's like to live a life, like have a family, have a career, own a business. So we're very versatile in the sense that we can structure a program that is sustainable for somebody that has a million other things going on in their life, whether you're a lifestyle person just trying to get in shape or healthy, or you're somebody who's trying to get their IFBB pro card or their first pro win or whatever. Those are the three reasons, in my opinion. We're excellent at what we do. So what else would you say, Steve?
Uh, yeah, I mean, you kind of just kind of took all the words out of my mouth. I mean, I think too, like you said, the attention to detail is one thing. I think I don't even want to say we're extremely good at that because I don't think I just think that it goes hand in hand with we really care. And when you really care about your people and what you do and you continue to get better and you strive to get better, I feel like that is just a trait that comes along with that territory, if that makes sense. Because if you don't give a shit, you don't care about detail. You know what I mean? So I think we just really, really care. I think when like our people are on stage, I think that's just a telltale. Like you can just see it. You know what I mean? Like I've seen even at Universe, I saw some coaches, they're just sitting there, like not saying anything. I'm like, your athletes on
Dude,
stage.
dude, can I tell you something actually? So at Atlantic States and at Universe, I've heard coaches complaining backstage about being tired from standing around all day. Like, brother, I'm 2 weeks out. I was 2 weeks out at fucking Atlantic States. I was 2 weeks out at Universe. I probably averaged like 25,000 steps, but I had a smile on my face the whole day. I shook hands with
He,
everybody, talked to everybody.
yeah,
I'm screaming for my athletes. Like, talk to me about fucking complaining about being tired. Like, these people, these
dude,
are the type
that's
of people that are
yeah,
fucking coaching. Like, these are literally the type of people that are coaching.
yeah.
One of them was an IFBB pro. I'm not gonna blast them, but
No, no, no.
I've taken a few of their clients too. Not
Yo,
surprisingly, to
that
be
shit's
honest.
crazy because when Matt and Brandon and David were on stage, my heart rate was like 140.
Right, yeah, because you care. You know what's funny? I'm sure this is the same thing with you, dude. Like I'm way more high strung on my athlete's show day than my own. Like my own show day, I go to
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
bodybuilding shows. I've done 11 shows. Like I don't know, it just kind of feels like another day. Like I'm ready to go. I did my fucking job. I just got to go show it confidently.
Yep.
And I'm confident in my posing, so I'm smooth, steady. Yeah, I'll get a little bit of nerves, but like once I'm ready to step out on stage, like I'm fucking in the zone. It's like the same thing
Yeah,
as a
my
top
own
set.
shows, I don't care. Like I'm
But
not
you're
like
going
that at
crazy with
all.
your clients, right?
Oh, dude, it's fucking crazy.
You're
It's,
shaking half the
it's
time. You're
nuts.
so funny. Steve, like literally, he's like this when his clients are on stage. It's so fucking funny. Dude shakes like a leaf.
Yeah, bro, my heart rate was so funny. I felt so bad for Sam because like when they moved Matt in the middle and then Brandon, I was like hitting her in the shoulder.
Yeah, no, you're punching her. I know.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was just punching you in the shoulder. Oh my God. Sam's like, no, it's all good. I felt so bad. But yeah, I mean, no, we really care. I think that's number one. Um, I think another big one too is respect. I think we understand that, respect's a two-way street in a sense. Like we treat our athletes with respect. I mean, I'm not naming any names, but I've seen a few coaches who have literally talked to people like dog shit. And if somebody spoke to me like that and I was paying them $300-400 a month, I would literally tell them to go after themselves. Like it's so inappropriate.
It's an ego thing.
Uh,
It's an ego thing with a lot of coaches.
but
There's
that's the
that's
thing.
another
Like,
thing. That's another thing. So like objectively, everybody knows it. The bodybuilding industry is not like a very wealthy industry with respect to other things in the world, right? Like anything,
yeah,
name it, like software, finance, whatever. At the end of the day. So oftentimes when you get guys that start to make, two, three, $400,000 a year from coaching, which is absolutely attainable, it goes to their head, right? Excuse me. Because it's their first taste of real money. And that's when you hear the stories of being disrespectful to their clients. That oftentimes
dude,
it's
it's
not the only
bad.
that's not the only time, but it happens a lot.
Man,
And
I've seen,
never, I
I've
was gonna
seen,
never
I've seen messages. Don't ask me questions. Do what I say. Which leads me into my next point. I think a very good attribute of us as coaches is that we listen to our clients, and we're not closed off to having open-ended conversations and allowing not allowing but be them making them feel like we want them to be open about how they're feeling and give us feedback, so we're working you're feeling like we're working as an actual team. This isn't just I'm telling you what to do what I say, and don't tell me how you feel. We take feedback into true consideration, and I think that actually makes us even better coaches, in my opinion.
yeah. Well, one of the things I say when somebody signs up, like one of the first things I say is like I can like guarantee your success if you do two things, right? You follow your plan and you communicate with me. Like tell me if something is not
Yep.
working. Right? Like don't be
Yep.
afraid because I'm your coach that I'm gonna think that you're coming to me bitching. Yeah, don't fucking complain
100%.
about
Yeah.
stupid shit. Like do what you gotta do, but like you know, if you have that one meal that you just cannot fucking get down because you hate beef so much, like simple solution there. Just let me know because we're gonna pull the beef. Would I like for you to have
hundred
beef?
percent.
Yes, but if you can't stomach it, we're not gonna fucking have it in your plan.
Yeah, we're not
Shit
gonna
like
make you
that.
eat
I
some.
mean,
Yep,
but
100%.
if you're 6 weeks out and you're telling me you're hungry, I'm gonna say buckle up because you need more conditioning. You know, there's
Exactly.
a time and a place for it. But you
Yeah.
know, you just gotta communicate, man, and we're gonna be able to do our jobs. And unless some anomalous thing happens and you can't train or whatever, like guarantee you you're gonna get results.
Yeah, it's just you just gotta communicate. But I think we're very big on we actually are receptive to the feedback and the communication. There's some coaches that
I
don't
don't
care.
know if it's I don't know if it's just me or everybody, but you're frozen on my Instagram, but I can still hear you.
Yeah, you were freezing too. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be my new internet. I gotta get an extender for the Wi-Fi, I
Can you see
think.
me? Am I moving?
I guess, well, you are on my laptop on the Zoom.
Not on
It's
Instagram.
a little bit. It's all good because if anybody's in the chat, let us know if you can see and hear us. But I can't see the chat, so you'll have to let me know. Do you have
um,
any other questions, or do we want to talk about the
I
topics we had? We should probably wrap up in like next 10 minutes or so.
yeah, I gotta go get the kids in like 15 minutes. But I just picked three questions. I got like six questions, but I picked three. And the last one I got was, what are your three? If you only had to pick three preferred prep drugs for a client's first prep, what would they be?
Um, Test, mast, Winstrol.
First test for sure, Masteron for sure, and I'd go Winnie too in terms of anabolics. And then I would say if are we including ancillaries too? Like, are we including
Yeah, three ancillaries.
three
Sure. Three ancillaries.
uh T3, Arimidex or Romacin and Clen, I would say.
Yeah, fair.
It's fair.
All right. So
Dustin
actually
really
test, try, and Halo. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, and meant.
I meant to test, meant trend Halo. No test.
Yeah, you're gonna buckle up for your first prep. You're gonna dude, fucking can you imagine? Oh my god. Someone would go fucking they would never compete again. You would never see
Oh,
them.
they would become an axe murderer, dude.
You would see them, you would see that motherfucker on the news for sure.
Dude, I ran up to I was running for a couple of days. I was on 40 milligrams of Halo going into Indy.
I
Didn't
remember.
do,
Yeah,
didn't do anything to me. Like, and it's real. It's fucking good, but
that's
does
crazy.
not nothing. Does nothing to me.
That is
I just like
crazy.
I'm just here, bro. This is where I live.
Good though. All right. I guess we'll talk about one of these topics. We'll save one for in 2 weeks.
Okay. Question: did anybody tell us if they can see us and stuff?
Ryan said Matt froze up a bit. Steve was just a bit blurry. I don't know if that was past or present.
All right. So
How does
we're
one
good.
stop sweating from caffeine and Yohimbine? You don't, Justin. You suck it the fuck up. You're 5 weeks out. Am I wrong? How do you stop somebody
No.
from sweating when they're on all these fat burners 5 weeks out? You don't. You just sweat.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the classroom, dude, like in my last prep, and oh no, like 7 years ago or 6 years ago, and my eyelashes were just dripping sweats like at 2 p.m. And I took this shit at like 6 a.m. Like I'm just sitting there like this, shaking, trying to write notes, and just from my eyelashes, just sweat is dripping down like a faucet. It's just all right. So we want to do importance of refeeds in prep or why you shouldn't rush to do a national show.
Probably why you shouldn't rush to do national show.
All right. So a lot of context here. You want to start?
I forgot this was one of the topics, but I mean, number one, it's expensive, right? I mean, it's like
Yeah.
300 something to register for pretty much any national show, and you're
Yep.
likely gonna have to travel and get an Airbnb or hotel or whatever. It's expensive, so you want to make sure if you're doing it, you actually have a shot of doing well. Um, I think oftentimes what I see is these people will win overalls at like the Podunk Classic, where there's like 45 total competitors and like three of them in your entire division of like whether what class it is, whether it's men's physique, classic, whatever. They'll win that overall and be like, oh well, I can go do nationals now. I won an overall, and it's like these people drop out of the shows beforehand because they realize that they're not big enough, or they just go and they get last call out, or really do really shitty at the end of the day. So I think what you should do to determine whether or not you belong on a national stage is go and look at the first call out and all the national shows from the current year or the year prior. Um, Obviously, there's going to be varying levels of physiques that you're going to see, but you should be able to get a sense, looking at the call outs and just the individual pictures on NPC News Online, whether or not you could compare with these people. Another thing is you need to understand if you have like a really lagging body, because that's one of the things I notice like the first call out level at a lot of these national shows, at least in the men's divisions, is there might be somebody who's like really good, but like their back just fucking sucks. Like it's like actually awful. So just because you have everything else, but you have that huge lagging body part, your odds are you're really not ready for that national stage. Just because you have the freaky legs doesn't mean you're there. So yeah, I mean, and going back to what I said earlier, if you're in a class where there's a weight cap, or you're a taller guy and you're doing open bodybuilding, you might really want to assess where you fall within that class from a weight perspective. Because if you're drastically under your cap, or you're 6 foot and you're a middleweight, do you really belong on a national stage? So these are all some things that you should consider before spending your money.
100%. I think another thing I want to add on to that, dude, is do not surround yourself with yes men.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people who have been there, done that, and know what an actual national level physique looks like, whether it's in your photos or in person, and they're going to shoot you straight. Because how many people, I mean, just at Universe, do you see men's physique and classic? I'm only using those two divisions because bodybuilding, it's a quarter amount of the people. You know what I mean now? So how many times do you see somebody and you're like, this person wouldn't even win their class at Lehigh or Garden State, right? So don't surround yourself with people who are going to tell you what you want to hear. Surround yourself with people who are going to shoot you straight. No, dude, you're not ready for that. You need another year or maybe two. You need another year of an off season and then prep, or listen to the judges' feedback too. Like if you go and you do a Weinberger show and that man tells you, like, hey, save your money and just pack it up and do it another year, fucking listen. The dude's gonna be looking at you whenever the show is. Like, just listen. You know what I mean? Like somebody like that, a head judge is not gonna, like, they're not getting paid to lie to you. You know what I mean? If you're ready, they're gonna tell you, like, oh yeah, you need to go to a net.
So
Go to here.
dude, perfect example of that exact scenario. 2022, I saw Weinberger between the Big Cat and the Easterns, and he told me, you need more size. It's like, where are you relative to your weight cap? I was like 10 pounds under. He's like, yeah, you need to capitalize on that. I saw him the next year before junior nationals. He did not tell me the same thing. He did not say size was an issue.
You know,
I,
but we
I
also
went to see him.
clarified.
I went to
I
see him
remember.
yesterday, and he told me that I need to bring up my shoulders and my arms, my chest. It's like the dude is giving me objective feedback that I'm like, my training split has already changed to reflect that.
I think it's important to note too, man, that there's just levels to this shit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? There's just levels to this shit. Like, as an amateur, it was, hey, sure, you just want a really good regional overall. You need more size to be pro. 8 months later, didn't tell you that pro card. Told you, oh, for the pro level, you need more size. A year and a half later, you do your pro debut, you see him again. He's like, hey, to level up now, past what you just were, not next year, you just need more size. It's like it goes in waves, you know what I mean? But you got to level
Mhm.
up to the level you then achieve and get to. So
It's the most fun part of it, though, dude. I fucking love it. Like,
yeah, it's the
dude. So
progress.
what my feedback for junior nationals was that I need to bring up my back. My
Yeah.
feedback from the head judge at Indy was that my back was good. Like that was one of the, and when I saw the pictures, I was like, oh fuck, my back don't last this good.
I told you
Like
that those
that
pictures like
was
4 weeks out, remember?
I know, yeah, you were. I didn't see it, but like, that was like objectively, dude. I was cheesing when Bill gave me that
Uh,
feedback because it's like, dude, I executed on it, man. It's so cool to see that happen.
yeah. I think too, man, just a lot of people, again, to our point like 20 minutes ago, are just such in a fucking rush. Like the stage isn't going anywhere. If you don't get the pro card your first time doing it, you did well at a regional show and you took a year off season. Guess what? You might need a whole nother year to get there. It's not a big deal. It's not, that shouldn't discourage you. That should motivate you. Like, fuck, they're telling me I need a little bit more size. Go back to the drawing board, show the fuck up, do the work, and then show the fuck up again and prove the judges wrong. Give them what they asked for. You know what I mean? But everybody, so many people are just in a rush, dude.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get the rush. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I think it's like an instant gratification thing, but you know, it's you all like I think too. You brought up a good point. You don't want to rush to a national show because how fucking expensive it is. Like,
Yeah.
You're looking at what? Suit or trunks, NPC card, registration fee, tanning, if you're a
Makeup.
female, hair and makeup and jewelry, your coach, food, the hotel or Airbnb, plane tickets or travel, gas if you're driving, like
Rental car if you need a rental car. Like
the PEDs are more in prep, right? Rental car, yeah, like how much would you say is you need to have set aside with a cycle involved for one full 5 month prep? $4,000.
I can't more than that, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Probably. I don't know. I never really sat down and budgeted it, but we've talked about it before. It was a lot. Like to basically bodybuild every year is like at least minimum 10 grand laying around.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. So just don't rush into a national stage. Take the time. Don't surround yourself with yes men. Surround yourself with people, a good coach, and people around you, whether it's friends, whatever, that are going to tell you honest feedback. They're not just going to blow smoke up your ass and be like, "Oh yeah, this is the show, man," and then you go and you get fucking 18th place. Like just take your time, man. Don't rush. Remember back in the day, man. Like, it's so crazy to say back in the day, and I'm talking about like 2010, 20 to 2015. These national dudes, man, they used to go a good regional show, Atlantic States, the Mets, Easterns, right? At least here, they would scratch and claw and win one of those overalls. When they finally graduated and were good enough for that, then what they do? They went to junior nationals or junior USA. There was 20 guys in each bodybuilding weight class, dude. Remember that? Like 10 years ago at those shows. When you were good enough to win your weight class there, you went to USAs or North Americans or nationals.
Usually junior USA's guys would do. It was like a rite of passage.
That's what I mean. Now there's like no fucking rite of passage. Go to junior USA, there's 3 bodybuilders.
Literally.
And like everybody's going to USAs. You got 40 light heavyweights and only fucking 6 of them belong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, I miss those bodybuilding.
Dude, I remember back in the day, like Easterns, like 2013.
Oh, bro.
Guys like George Peterson, like not even winning their class. Like,
Sean Roden did Easterns and didn't even win the fucking show.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like these guys, the guys that won Easterns back then fucking were pillars, dude.
I remember when I was like, we were a bit younger.
Hakeem Williams, dude. He's another one.
Hakeem Williams, Luis Rodriguez. Then he won North Americans. Dom Cardone. Oh my God, there was that other guy, Vlad Petrich. He won the overall there, and then he won the light heavyweight class a week later at Nationals. This is when Nationals was mid-November, the week before Thanksgiving. Remember that?
Yeah. Remember that was when they just had the little blue Nationals thing on the bottom with the black backdrop too.
That was it, man. It looked the best.
The best.
It was the best. Now there's 53 fucking cookie sponsors on the backdrop, and then they're
We're
like,
so old.
they're blue and yellow. Dude, remember Easterns at Tribeca? Dude, there was a line to get in near the Twin Towers. Remember at Ground Zero? There was a fucking line. And Kai Green used to wear those fucking masks and just guest pose every fucking Easterns.
Yeah, there's no parking anywhere.
And there was no parking. There was no seats left. Everyone was fucking standing up. And there was 30 fucking dudes in every bodybuilding class. If you won that show, it was almost a 99% chance you're getting a pro card the next week in fucking at Nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was those were the days, man.
All the shows in the Atlantic States, Mets, they were all crazy.
They were fucking loaded, bro. Now the Mets is like the least quality of those 3. Atlantic
Yeah,
States and Eastern's still.
Eastern's and Atlantic States. I would say Atlantic States is Eastern's has probably been the most competitive consistently.
I agree.
Just relative timing, obviously, but um, I mean they're competitive. Don't get me wrong; they're definitely some of the most competitive regional shows for sure in this
Yeah,
area.
for sure.
But
I
yeah,
agree.
let's wrap up, man. I'm gonna go jump. I got shit to do.
Yeah, man.
It's
Everyone,
a good
thanks for
one.
listening. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
thanks, guys.
well, let me fucking stop.